Hey, Jim Wolf here, and I want to take a couple of minutes to talk to you about the difference between being cocky and being truly confident. I talk about self-worth, self-esteem, confidence, and topics like that a lot, and it seems like every time I talk about valuing yourself with someone who doesn't do that a lot right now, they seem to have the same common fear. I hear it over and over again, and honestly, I used to feel the same way, so I can totally understand. But I hope this video will shift your perspective on what self-worth and true confidence actually is, so that you can start valuing yourself more right now and in turn giving more to the society and the people around you. And so the big fear that people have when they're first learning to value themselves more is, hey, you know what? If I become confident, if I have high self-worth, if I develop my self-esteem, you know what's going to happen? I'm going to be really cocky. And I'm going to start thinking that I'm better than everyone else. Like my boy Gaston here from the movie Beauty and the Beast. Nobody wants to be like Gaston because he thinks that he is better than everyone else for all the reasons that are listed in the song about Gaston in that movie. And so nobody wants to be like that, and that is a huge fear that people have when it comes to learning to value themselves in a real way. And I just want to shatter that right now, because when you truly value yourself, you don't actually end up thinking that you're better than anyone else. It's actually quite the opposite, and here's why. When you value yourself in a real way and you see people as inherently equal, not better or worse than you, then that's a positive thing, and that's what true confidence means. When you think highly of yourself in a comparative way, so you think highly of yourself because you're better than other people in some way or another, or they're worse than you in some way or another, then that's a negative thing, and that's what people are afraid of. And you should be afraid of that, because that is a negative thing. And so what you want to do is separate your own value, your own sense of worth, from the value of other people. Okay, it's not comparative. True confidence is independent. You are just amazing and awesome just because you exist. Okay, so it's not because you have more money than other people. It's not because you have better fashion sense than other people. It's not because you won more gold medals. It's not because you got good grades. It's not because you're a good speaker or you're a leader. Okay, your worth has nothing to do with the worth of other people. That's why it's called self-worth. Okay, and so if you separate your worth from the value of other people, and you just in your own reality think that you're awesome and start valuing yourself, you won't think you're better than anyone. You won't become like Gaston. And the cool thing is, you actually will start thinking more highly of the people around you, not less. Okay, and here's why. If you live in this secure frame, you don't have to compare yourself to other people anymore. So there's an infinite amount of value, and you don't have to compete for it anymore. When you're in this insecure frame, there's a finite amount of value that you have to compete with other people for. And our society kind of sets up this insecure frame that says your value is based on the relative value of other people. Okay, and so our society tries to say that this is the way it is, but it doesn't have to be. You can break out of that and separate your value from the value of other people, and in turn, you can start to see other people more highly as well. Because if you live in this frame and you make an accomplishment or you start to value yourself, that automatically means some other people are worse than you. Okay, and we don't want that. That's a negative thing. When you live in the secure frame, there's an infinite amount of value to go around, so you can value yourself as highly as you want and still not put anyone else down. You can lift them up too. You can see them in a more positive light, because this never runs out. It's infinite. The truth is, there's an infinite amount of value out there, and just because you are valuing yourself doesn't mean you're taking value from other people. And now if you have an infinite amount of value in yourself and you have a high amount of self-worth and high amount of self-esteem, you can start to share that value with other people because you will see them in a more positive light. And studies have shown that self-esteem is actually a shareable resource. So the more self-esteem you have, the more other people around you can kind of feel better about themselves too. And when you're not competing with other people for value, you have no reason to put them down. You have no reason to think you're better than them. All you do is value yourself and then give that value away. And that is an awesome place to be. And I really hope that you get there soon because it's a great way to live. So Gaston, he's insecure. Nobody wants to be like Gaston. But if you value yourself in a secure way that's not dependent on the value of other people around you, then you won't turn into Gaston and you'll actually be an awesome person. So here's the thing, if you're living in this secure frame where your value is not dependent on the relative value of other people, and you start to see the reality that all people have the same amount of basic value just because they exist as human beings, now you see people as equal to you in a real way. And so if you see everyone as actually equal to you and you value yourself highly, what does that mean for how you see all the people around you? It means that you're going to value them more highly also, right? And if you live in a secure frame where your value is not relative to the people around you, and you see everyone as basically equal just because we exist as human beings, and our value is the same because there's an infinite amount of it, and then you think poorly of yourself, or you get down on yourself and you have low self-esteem, how do you think you see everyone around you as well? Okay, so if you have a negative self-evaluation and you have negative self-esteem, you're going to tend to project that negative self-worth out onto the world as well. Because we tend to project how we feel about ourselves onto everyone and everything around us. Okay, so it's a good thing for everyone around you for you to value yourself highly, as long as it's not coming from a comparative insecure frame. Okay, so I highly encourage you to make that little mental switch of, oh, I'm not actually better or worse than anyone else. I'm just awesome in my own reality. And once you have that, your true confidence is contagious. And here's the thing, only people who are living in this insecure frame can tell you that you will become cocky. You'll be like Gaston. You'll think you're better than other people if you start valuing yourself. Okay, chances are if you have that fear, someone else in your life or a lot of people in your life have told you don't value yourself too much, because if you do, you're going to turn into Gaston, you're going to think you're better than other people, you're going to be cocky, and nobody wants that, and we'll probably have to take you down a peg. Okay, but only someone who lives in this insecure comparative frame can ever say that to you. Because once you live in this secure frame where there's an infinite amount of value and everyone's inherently equal in a basic way, there's absolutely no chance that you're going to think that you're better than other people, because you never need to. And what's awesome about that is that you can just start sharing value from there on out. So make that quick switch in your mind right now. Start living through the secure frame. Start valuing yourself more and spread it. And I'm Jim Wolf, and I'll talk to you soon.